Hey everybody, it's George Trombley with Japanese from Zero, and we are going to continue going through Course 4 or Book 4, Lesson 9. Today we're going to be talking about to go and do something or to come to do something. Let's jump right into it. We're going to talk about regular verbs first. You're going to just make E form of the verb and then add ni iku to mean to go to do something and E form plus ni kuru to come and do something. So for example, if we have the verb kau, it's probably easier to think about it from the must form because you just essentially drop the must. Any verb in its must form, you drop the must and then you add ni iku or ni kuru. So for example, kaimasu means I will buy. If we want to say I'm going to go and buy, then it's kai ni iku. I'm going to buy. English is weird because we say I'm going to buy to mean I will buy. We don't normally say, I will buy food today. We say, I'm going to buy food today. But really what we're saying here is, I'm literally going to go and buy, okay? So go and buy is kai ni iku. You're going with the purpose of buying. It's better with another verb. Asobimasu, asobimasu. The verb asobu means to play. I also want to point out that asobu, even though it means play, it's a lot of times going to translate to hang out. Because if you ever hear someone say, come play at my house, it's awkward. I remember the first time I heard it and I was like, this girl is asking me to come play at their house. What does that mean? I'm 20 years old. Like, what does that mean? I don't know. It just means come hang out. It's not anything weird at all, okay? So if you're going to go hang out with your friends, you're going to asobi ni iku. Asobi ni iku. What about to swim? Who remembers that verb? How often do you say swim? Oyogimasu, oyogimasu. If you're going to go swim somewhere, oyogi ni, now it's a kuru. Oyogi ni kuru. Come and swim. Let's say someone has a pool and you're talking to them on the phone. They might say this particular format, oyogi ni kuru. For example, George is going to come over tomorrow and swim. George wa ashita oyogi ni kuru. Tomorrow, George will come and swim. Now let's talk about iru eru verbs. So iru eru, very easy. Drop the ru or pull off the must. Either way, it's the same thing. And then add ni kuru and ni iku. For example, miru. Now this is a super common one. There's a couple verbs that are all the time used with ni iku. Mini iku is one of them. You're going to go see. So mini iku, to go see. Let's say you have something that you want to give somebody. Maybe they're at the hospital and you're going to go give them flowers. You're going to age ni iku, to go to give. This is another verb that is super duper commonly used with ni iku. It is taberu. Tabe ni iku. Tabe ni kuru in this case. So you can go to eat, tabe ni iku. Or you can invite someone to come to eat, tabe ni kuru. We know tabetai, right? We know how to say tabetai. Do you want to eat? But did you know that a lot of times someone will just say taberu? Will you eat? It really means do you want to eat when they do it that way. If we were speaking informally, I could just say to somebody, tabe ni kuru? Like you're on the phone with somebody, like, hey, what are you doing right now? Oh, I don't know, I'm hungry. Ja, how about this? Well then, tabe ni kuru? That means do you want to come and eat? When you do that kuru like that, it's do you want to come eat? Okay, before we get to the example sentences, I want to remind you that you don't have to be following along with the website, but the website is really great. I never reuse sentences in these PowerPoints. Everything on the website's different sentences, okay? Different examples. And it's the same in the books. The website and the books are the same, so you can have either one, and that will completely enhance what you're doing here in these videos. These videos are really supposed to be supporting what we teach on the website and supporting what we do in the books. So I would hope that you would have one of these at least, but you don't have to. Again, the books are independent from the videos, but they do work really well together. All right, let's get to some example sentences. 今日、遊園地に遊びに行きます。今日、遊園地に遊びに行きます。The hardest thing in this is remembering what 遊園地 is. It's just an amusement park. So today, 遊園地に to the amusement park, 遊びに行きます. I'm going to play. Today we're going to play in the amusement park. The only reason it's assumed here that it's a weir It's because do you go to the amusement park by yourself? No. Remember the general rule is that if a sentence is a statement, but there's no pronoun to tell you who did it, and you're just saying it randomly without any prior context, you're going to assume I. Here, it's weird. Just because. I know there's going to be people in the comments telling me I go to the amusement park by myself, but I would never go to an amusement park by myself. Who would do that? It's strange. You're strange. All right, moving on. This is a good one. I'm sure a lot of you fall into this category. 日本に英語を教えに来ました。日本に英語を教えに来ました。What does that mean? Remember to say it out loud. While you're thinking about that, did you know that I have been making these videos, this style of video where I teach from the books since 2016? So that's like 7 years, right? Did you know this is the first time I've ever set my camera to not autofocus? So hopefully I'm focused because it's set to manual. And I was like, before the show, I was like doing this. It should be pretty good. Let me know if I did something wrong. All right. What does this mean? 日本に英語を教えに来ました. It means I came to Japan to teach English. I came to teach. Let me throw this out there. What does this mean? 何をしに日本に来ましたか? 何をしに日本に来ましたか? Now, I could have said 日本に何をしに来ましたか? That would work too. But I can also split it like I just did. 日本に何をしに来ましたか? 何をしに日本に来ましたか? To do what did you come to Japan? What did you come to do to Japan? 何をしに来ましたか? Maybe they ask you this at customs if you speak a little bit of Japanese. If you are an English teacher and you're coming to Japan to teach English, you're going to say, you won't need the Nihon anymore because it's already established. What did you come to do to Japan? You just say the bare minimum. 英語を教えに来ました. I came to teach English. Even in English, I want you to think about this for a second. When someone asks you, what did you come to do to Japan? You don't answer, I came to Japan to teach English. Just like you don't say, what's your name? My name is George. We don't do that, right? We just give the answer. Same thing here. So if someone asks you, 日本に何をしに来ましたか? Or 何をしに日本に来ましたか? You would say, 英語を教えに来ました. What if you were coming to study Japanese? These are all bonus sentences. I'm not going to put them on the screen. Just think about it in your head. How would you say, I came to study Japanese? 日本語を勉強しに来ました。しに来ました. I came to study Japanese. 日本語を勉強しに来ました. So now let's go the other way. I'm going to give you English and I want you to give me the Japanese. But don't get too sad about this next sentence. Some of you will be triggered. Just trigger warning. My father went to buy milk. If you want to make it cigarettes, that's fine. I feel like milk's a little bit more innocent. My father went to buy milk 10 years ago. What? All right, don't say the 10 years ago part, but we're going to talk about that in a second. So how would you say, my father went to buy milk? Now, before you give me your answer, I know you probably already said it. I want you to know that there was a question the other day in the comments about one of the sentences I had okasan in there, and they were wondering why we didn't say haha instead. And the same thing could be said here. Well, by the way, my answer has otosan in it, okay? But why wouldn't we say chichi instead? Because chichi means my father, and haha means my mother inherently. And the real reason is that a lot of people just call their mother okasan, or they call their father otosan. It's kind of like their name. It's the way that they refer to them, even though otosan can be used for other people's fathers too. Only when you're kind of doing some sort of like bigger, more deeper discussion, maybe like you're telling a story of your life, maybe you'll say chichi or haha. I don't know if that's the official answer. That's just how I feel about it. I had a similar discussion with my wife about this thing, and she agreed, yeah, that's probably makes sense. Like you're not saying chichi and haha every day. I personally don't, and I always thought, oh, maybe that's just me. but I think Japanese people also do it too. I would love to hear your feedback in the comments though. How do you say, my father went to buy milk? Knowing that I'm going to want you to say, お父さん。お父さんはミルクを買いに行きました。Now, this joke doesn't work in Japan. You know how in America we say, my father went to buy cigarettes? And it means that my father's didn't come back, that he left my mother or whatever. Because the mother would say, where did dad go? He went to buy cigarettes, and that means he's never coming back. But if you want to try this, the way I would tell this as a joke is I would do, I don't know what they call this, but there's a common thing that Japanese people do when they do a joke, and I do it all the time too, is you throw something immediately after the sentence, okay? You say the sentence, just like we just did, my father went to buy milk. Pause, 10 years ago, okay? And then it becomes funny. Maybe this particular sentence could become funny because they would ask, what? So, お父さんはミルクを買いに行きました。10年前。Might work. I don't think it will, but you're welcome to try. All right, next one. Tomorrow, friends are coming to my house to play games. 明日、友達が家にゲームをしに来ます。明日、友達が家にゲームをしに来ます。All right. What does this one mean? ゴミを捨てに行った。The only difference between this and the other one is that this one is informal. ゴミを捨てに行った。Maybe some says, hey, where were you just now? 今、どこでしたか? Where were you? Or, 何をしたの? What did you do? ゴミを捨てに行った。I went to throw away the trash. Nothing complicated there. There's your alibi. So far, we've only done this verb format with ni, iku, and ni kuru, very basic forms, ikimashita, kimashita, right? Let's try to change the form because we can make any different forms. So what does this mean? スタバにコーヒーを飲みに行きませんか? Very nice, polite way to ask something of somebody. スタバにコーヒーを飲みに行きませんか? So what is スタバ? Starbucks. Starbucks is just shortened to スタバ. Okay? So スタバにコーヒーを飲みに行きませんか? Won't you go to Starbucks to drink coffee? Now, this could be translated to, aren't you going? But that's not what it is. Because when they use ikimasen ka like that, it's an invitation. It's like a suggestion. Hey, why don't we go to Starbucks together? Is really what they're saying. It's really, you could translate it as, do you want to go to Starbucks? I never really thought about this until I heard foreigners say, 行きたいですか? It's so direct sounding to say, スタバにコーヒーを飲みに行きたいですか? It's like, do you want to go to Starbucks and drink? It's too direct. So I would not suggest that when you are getting someone to go somewhere with you, or if you want them to eat with you, like let's say you just say, 一緒に食べたいですか? It's super direct sounding, and it doesn't sound normal in Japanese. If you say in English, hey, do you want to get lunch with me? Sounds absolutely normal. But in Japanese, it's more polite feeling to say, 一緒に食べませんか? Or 一緒に食べる, like we talked about before. 一緒に食べます? Now notice when I said 一緒に食べます, it went up. That is when it's not 食べます, right? 食べます, I will eat. 食べます? Do you want to eat? Okay. This is not in the book, I don't think. It might be in book 5, but I'm telling you now, so put it in your notes. You will hear it. Now that I've told you, you'll hear it. Japanese people do not typically ask, 一緒に行きたいですか? They just don't typically do it. They would say, 一緒に行きますか? Which is weird in English if you directly translate it because it's 一緒に行きますか? That means, do you want to go with me? Not, are you going with me? Because in English, that's weird, right? Are you going? I would say that 一緒に行きたいですか? Is just as weird in Japanese as, are you going with me? It sounds direct, right? Like, well, are you going with me or not? All right. Hopefully I explained that properly. Okay, what does this mean? お昼ご飯を食べに行ってもいいですか? 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 We learned that in this book. You should know it. We are asking permission, okay? Is it okay if I go to eat lunch? Maybe this is something you say at work. You ask, is it okay if I go eat lunch? You're doing a project, time went late. You know, and I'll tell you, Japanese people, like, I'm sorry if you're Japanese and you don't agree with me. You guys love to ask permission for everything. I used to make a joke when I was a tour guide. I used to be at the JTB help desk. JTB is the Japan Travel Bureau. And when I was a tour guide, sometimes I had to man the desk at the MGM Grand Hotel. And I would bring the customers up to their room, give them their key and say, you know, let me know if you have any questions. And then I'd go back down to the desk. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm done dealing with them. They would come down from their room a few minutes later and say, Soto ni itte mo ii desu ka? Can I go outside? I'm like, yeah. It always boggled my mind that Japanese would ask that kind of a question. If a Japanese person comes to your house, they might ask you, Suatte mo ii desu ka? Is it okay if I sit? They ask permission for everything. And my joke was always, oh, Japanese people ask for permission to breathe. You know, obviously that's an exaggeration, but they are very polite. I think it's a very polite thing to do. I'm not a fan when, you know, someone comes to your house and they just open up your refrigerator and take out a drink. That would be very, 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 very awkward in Japan. Don't do that. Just always think, maybe I should ask permission to do this thing. This one is not good if someone tells you this. You've probably been stalker-ish level with this person. Please don't come see me anymore. I put meet in parentheses because we're not going to say see. We're going to use the verb to meet, which translates in English to see. Don't come see me anymore. Maybe you were infatuated with this girl and you kept going to her office or where she worked. You kept going and going and going, just overdid it, right? And she says to you this. It's a negative request. Naide kudasai. Don't forget it's anymore. もう私に会いに来ないでください。もう私に会いに来ないでください。Please, please don't come see me anymore. I want to go see a Blue Jeans concert. Blue Jeans is K-pop, but I was into them quite a bit a few months back. That's literally all I ever watched was Blue Jeans. I love them. Their dance style is really cool. Yes, I know they're super young, but they're really cool. Check them out. Their songs are amazing. They sing amazing. It's K-pop, Blue Jeans. My favorite song, Cookie. Don't judge me. And I would love to go see a Blue Jeans concert. Not really. Probably want to see Blackpink or something more. But I wanted to show you that I'm up on the new groups. Blue Jeans. All right. How do you say that? ブルージーンズのコンサートを見に行きたい。見に行きたい。Want to go see. Here's that kanji we talked about a few videos back. To go see something is meet. Not to actually like look at it. You want to go look at the concert. You want to go watch the concert, right? So you're going to use this other kanji. Even though we're not talking about kanji in this lesson, it's important to know. That's it, guys. Remember, if you want to learn Japanese, you want to boost your Japanese, come check out the study modes up on FromZero.com. They're pretty amazing. All right, guys. See you next time. Bye-bye.